Welcome to Doug's Open Mic, a podcast spotlighting local musicians, bands, and songwriters.
All right, everybody, we're back again with Doug's Open Mic. Got a good show today, just saying. Got Mr. Frank Critelli here, who I met at Mark Bernardo's show a little while ago, and he came all the way up from New Haven, if you can imagine. I have to buy him lunch after this, at least for that. So, as usual, first of all, before we get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, some of the stuff that I did last week. The only place I went was the Root Stomps, which is at United. Craig Edwards does it once a month. It was so good. He had, you might even know. Do you know Brian Slattery?
Oh yeah, he's great. He plays with a band called the Moonshell. Yeah, he plays with the Moonshells, and writes for the New Haven Independent.
Yeah, that's who Craig had, the Moonshells.
Wow, they're a fantastic band.
So it was Brian and Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded different. I'm an old time guy.
Yeah.
It sounded different to me. I'm not sure I ever heard anything quite like that.
They have they do like the traditional sort of Americana kind of music, but they have a lot of really interesting rhythms. I put them in the same category as like Paul Simon's Graceland, like that kind of thing. They have like tribal and African rhythms to American bluegrass, and it's a real interesting mix. Yeah,
it was different. And Maggie's banjo playing, again, to me, uneducated. Most banjos sound the same. She sounded different.
She's got a real cool touch, and the voices that come out of their faces look like they're from, they sound like they're from a million years ago. It really comes from someplace else in them, I think. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and again, Craig has been running this Root Stomp at the United, and every single one of them I've gone to, except for yours. No, just kidding.
Thanks.
Just kidding. His was great. I've been excellent.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the next one. It's like once a month.
It's a nice little room.
It's a nice little room.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, unfortunately, it was not well attended because around here, in Mystic, they have an Irish parade every year.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
And it's huge.
Yeah.
And people drink a lot, probably. And they probably drank all afternoon, and they were done when it was time to go out. Like,
they were finished by then, yeah.
But I was very impressed. And I've known Brian for a while. I even played with him once a long time ago. And he's something.
He's great. Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And he's got a little party that he has once a year. I'm sure you're aware of, right?
I don't know if I am.
Oh,
at his house? I think I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
At his house, literally. I mean, it's right around New Year's or Christmas, whatever. I mean, probably there's like 50 people there, and then there's a jam in every room. There's like 3 or 4. And if you want to stay overnight, just let me know. Stay overnight.
That's pretty cool.
So I've been once. It was pretty good.
Nice.
So Root Stomps, that was it. It was very, very good. So upcoming this week, there's some good stuff around. We just looked. So tomorrow night, Wednesday, you could do this. You could go to Perks and see Andrew Victor at 8:00, who I am not totally familiar with, but as I've said before, if it's on Perks Songwriting Night on Wednesday, it's good. It's going to be good. They get enough.
I walked past there this morning and I saw the lineup, like who's coming the next few Wednesdays, and every single one of the artists were great. Yeah,
absolutely, because they're in demand and they get to pick the best. And Keith Crowley runs it, and he knows what the good stuff. He knows the vibes, what he wants, and he's familiar with everybody. So they get a great lineup.
They really do. Yeah,
they really do. Similar to that is the tap room.
Oh yeah,
they're in the same position of in demand and a guy that knows music picking them out.
Yeah.
And so they're having on Wednesday, they're having Jim and Sarah from the Carlines.
Oh, wow.
They are very good. So you could go and go to Perks from 8 to 9, say, and see Andrew Victor. Then go to the tap room, see Jim and Sarah. No covers, all free.
Wow.
No free. Can you imagine? That's
Tip the bands though, and your
absolutely.
bartender.
I say that all. Tip the bands.
For God's sakes, man.
And for God's sake, don't buy a CD.
Even better. Yeah.
Buy a CD. It's like, and then you even get something. When I
see
when I went to
look
Frank's,
at that,
I got CDs. I underpaid them, but
I don't mind.
In fact, the story was, it's like I said, yeah, I picked up some of your CDs, and I'll be honest, I underpaid you. He goes, no, go get your money back. I said, no, I don't want my money back. So you can have it for free. No.
We were standing at the bar at that point, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Cool. Make alcohol generosity.
Oh yeah, that's what happens to me every single time.
All right. So that's Wednesday. Now Thursday, day after, you can go see Robert, who's been on the show, at the tap room. He's going to be there after they have a little kind of a business thing at the Knickerbocker, the big room, but he plays right after that, and he starts at about 8. Saturday, over at the United, probably in that same room, I'm assuming, they're having Abby Jacob, who I'm not familiar with, Haunt the House,
He's fantastic.
Fantastic. Andrew Victor, again like us, Allison Kalari, Tyler Seaton. I know him from Joe Maselli's band. He looks like he's branched out to being on his own now. So that's kind of I gotta check him out. But that's so good stuff around.
Heck yeah, man.
Good stuff.
It's a great little town.
It is great stuff. It got coming back. It's got a little sparse even after kind of COVID kind of.
Sure.
I mean, it's still around, but it's sparser than it was. But again, weirdly enough, it seems better during the week than it is in the weekends.
It's funny, yeah. Everybody always packs the weekends, and I think maybe sometimes on the weekends, a lot of people want to really get their freak on. You know what I mean? And I think a Wednesday is a perfect night for a songwriter night.
Yeah, and both of those places, are basically, again, songwriter, acoustic kind of, that's my jam. No television. I mean, Perks is kind of a bar atmosphere. They're going to be people talking and stuff like that. Tap room, no. Tap room is all straight. Everybody just sits there, and it's almost like performances.
Right.
But it's
yeah. I've played both rooms, and I like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's coming up. Good stuff. So Mr. Frank here. So I met Frank about a month ago after Mark Renatos was doing a show. He does a show every month at the United, pretty much. Very good. Absolutely worth going to. I'm sure every show he'll have some of his friends show up, like Frank.
Go ahead.
Move the mic closer here.
There you go.
All right.
Mark Douglas Broad is an absolute champion. And he does great things. And the woman that he had with him that last time when I played was Grace Morrison, and she's wonderful too.
Good. I was unfamiliar with her.
Yeah, they did a nice little duo thing where they just traded songs back and forth.
Yep.
I think he does that with several people along the way.
Yep.
Is he even in Connecticut, right? Is he even?
I don't even think so.
He's in like
he's
Texas right
Florida.
now or something like that.
I've said before, it's like people listening do not know how good he is because he's been around forever.
Right.
And
a prophet is never recognized in his own hometown. That's the thing.
And so people like he can't even do a show at the Nick with a $10 cover charge because everyone goes, "Why should I see that? See him in person,
right?
For free."
Sheesh.
It's like,
I can go to his house. He'll sing for me on the couch.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, he's been on a big tour.
Yeah.
We'll get him. Oh, so speaking of him, your buddy Mark.
Yeah.
I let him know that you're going to be on the show today. and he has some info that he gave me.
Uh-oh.
To talk to you about.
Okay.
So one thing he said something about ELO.
ELO,
Yeah. What
the
is it?
band?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
wonder-
like them.
I wonder what he was talking about with that. Mark, if you're out there,
Yeah,
put in the. Is the chat open now?
maybe.
She's not listening to me.
It is.
It is. All right. If you're out there, Mark, let me know the question. All right. The other question is, and he said, don't let you slide on this.
Oh, okay.
Goldwater.
Goldwater.
Were you campaigning for Goldwater back in the 70s?
No, I don't campaign for anybody. In the 70s, I was in grade school.
I don't know what he's Mark, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like I thought I had all sorts of good stuff on from
Barry Goldwater?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
No?
That's even kind of before my time.
I don't know. That's what he told me. Anyways, so be it. Yeah, so we met at Mark's show and we hit it off, and as he said, there was a little bit of alcohol involved. Yeah.
I think I floated home. I don't even know. Did I spend the night that night? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Who did we go and see at the Nick after?
Oh, we went to I can't remember. We did go to you're right.
We went over to the Nick and we saw another songwriter over there, and that was really cool too.
I can't remember.
I don't remember who it was, but I remember that the Carlines were there and you were there.
Yeah, no, it
Mark
was
Douglas was there.
Yeah, it was, and I think that was the night that I was just walking down the street. I'm 71 years old. I just had a great time at the United.
Yeah.
I was going to the Perks, and I knew there'd be all sorts of. I said, I am so lucky. I am so lucky. It's like.
I love those times when gratitude overtakes you. You know what I mean? And you just realize, like, as humans, we're complainers. We see all the negatives about our lives and the world around us, and there's a lot to complain about for sure. But every now and then, when you feel like, man, I kind of like my life.
Yeah.
Like, this is good. I'm having a great time right now.
Yeah.
And
when you're having a great time, we don't know. It could be your last great time. So so if you're gonna have a great time, have a great time.
Notice it. Yeah. I think it was the prophet Kurt Vonnegut who once said, every now and then take a look around and say, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is.
Yep. Or some musician was dying of cancer. Sometimes it's great just to have a good sandwich.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Warren Zevon, I'm pretty sure.
Warren Zevon. Yep. Yeah. That's like sometimes, and again, he was like, he was literally dying. But he was like, but he was like, this sandwich is good.
Oh my goodness, this turkey club is rules right now.
Yeah. So that's the way. My philosophy. That's the way to be. So, anyways, so we met, and then I said, "You want to come up for the show?" And he goes, "Absolutely." I said, "Yeah, but you live in New Haven, I was like, it's kind of longer. We're not that big, And he goes, "I'll come."
Yeah, I got nothing to do.
Yeah,
hang on, talk about music with you guys. That's a great time for me.
And I'll buy him lunch.
Even better.
We're
gonna enjoy that sandwich too.
Yeah, we're gonna enjoy it. Yeah, you know what? We will. So you have a little show too, right?
Yeah, I am since 2015 with Rick Allison. I have co-hosted the local band show on WPLR in New Haven, Connecticut, and that's also on CygnusRadio.com, which is an internet station. So I get to do that, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, similar to this, local bands and stuff like that.
All local bands. We get a half hour. Sunday nights late, like 10 p.m. on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
But we get a half hour. The show's been going for 36 years. Yeah. It's the biggest rock station in Connecticut. It's the biggest station in Connecticut.
No, I lived in New Haven. I'm very familiar with it.
And they give a half an hour to local bands for 36 years. I think it's really great.
Yeah.
And I'm really I'm grateful to be there.
And your little thing that you put out on Facebook, they showing what's going to be on there is it's very artistic, artistic.
Thanks. People are like, oh, where'd you get that font? I'm like, it's just my handwriting.
So you
Sharpies.
So you just write that out.
Just write it out.
Much better than I could ever do. And I also like buy a beer, have a beer, buy a guitar. What better philosophy?
I can't think of two things that have brought me more joy in my life. I know.
The truth. It's the truth. So any gigs coming up?
Oh yeah. I'm really happy. I got a bunch of things coming up, and as a matter of fact, driving over here, I was thinking I have to go to Long Island next week, and I was going to take the ferry over.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing at the East End Writers Round in Riverhead, New York, next week.
There you go.
Yeah, and I got a couple of really cool things coming up. Actually, in this neck of the woods, this is a bucket list gig for me, man. Bucket list. I'm opening up for Ellis Paul at the Cape.
Oh yeah.
In Saybrook.
Yep.
In May, and I'm really really happy about that.
Yep.
So that's pretty much in this area.
Yeah.
But I get to go to New York a few times. I'm playing the Town Crier in May, and I'm playing a couple other things.
So how long you been playing?
I feel like I've been writing songs in my head since I was a baby, but I've been playing the guitar. I never even had a guitar until I got to college. So I started playing really in college.
Yeah.
And for me, the guitar was really just a vehicle for writing songs, and delivering like a lyrical idea. I'm not a great guitar player necessarily. I'm just a strummer,
Yep.
But I feel like I come to music from a very lyrical place. So the words are what makes.
I can't say if I remember if I was talking to somebody about this or I actually said it in the show before. I think I actually said it in the show last week with Susan. I was like, so Frank is the epitome of don't be offended now. It's like he's not a complicated technical guitar guy.
Nope.
He's not. But he shows what you can do with with a little bit some passion and the basics, a little bit more than the basics, and it comes off great.
This I don't think Dylan was a great guitar player.
You're right.
I think there's a lot of people who were just strummers.
Yep.
And that's what I am, and I know what I am, and I know where I fit in that whole panoply of guitar players. For me, it's more about the songwriting.
Yep.
I like songs.
Yep.
And it was something that I always wanted to participate in. I just, even as a little kid, when I was young, there was a lot of stuff on TV. I remember like the Hudson Brothers were on Saturday morning television. I learned rock and roll from the Hudson Brothers, and the Monkees were on TV.
Yeah.
And Sonny and Cher, and everybody had a special. It seems like there were always music specials going on. Tony Orlando and Dawn. Everything about TV was just all music, and I'm like, those guys are cool, man. Like, I would want to hang out with those guys. I want to be one of those guys.
Maybe not Tony Orlando, but
you know what? My first crush was Dawn.
Oh, all right. I can understand.
And I think he wrote nice songs. I didn't buy any of the records, but I remember it as a little kid, and I remember how much music made people happy. It wasn't necessarily about like the level of depth of the song or anything like that. It was just, hey, look, those guys are dancing.
Yeah.
They're enjoying life. They're having fun, and music has always been a part of that. It brings people together. Everybody hums, children play in, every child's instrument is the first instrument's a drum,
Yep.
we have it in us.
Oh, we do.
And I just want it to be in that,
And it still amazes me to this day that I can be playing someplace and like, especially like farmers markets and stuff like that.
Oh,
like a 3-year-old will come up and start dancing.
Absolutely.
It's
That's
like
the greatest ever.
Yeah. It's like a 3-year-old. It's like, and sometimes I talk to people and, especially if you see them and it's like, they ask you, it's like, when should I start giving my kids music lessons? Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
But they're only 3. Doesn't matter.
This is a story. You ready? When I was about 7 years old, there was a department store down the street from my house that was connected to the food store. So while my mom was food shopping, she would let me walk around the department store, right? And there was a record store in there. This was Times Square store.
Yeah.
In Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown, New York, and I would go in there, and the first record I ever bought with my own money was a 45 record of Johnny B. Good.
Oh, boy.
Now, even that was 10 years before my time.
You still got it?
No.
Oh,
no.
Too bad. Too bad.
I got that tattoo, though.
Too bad. It's probably
That's
worth
what
it. God knows how much it would be worth.
But I got home and I played that 45 on my little Fisher Price turntable ad nauseum for like 3 hours,
Yeah.
you know? And after that, I came downstairs and my mom said, "Why did you buy that?" And I said, "I don't know. You know, I liked it. I knew I liked it."
It was
And
a
she said-
force driving you
Yeah.
towards it.
And she said, "Your father used to sing that song to you when you were in the womb."
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. So I feel like, you know, and even like Paul Simon has a song about that, you know, about hearing the song, like being in bed, being a little kid in bed,
Yeah.
but hearing like his mom having cocktails with the neighbors in the other room and hearing the kitchen, you know,
Yeah.
hearing the music flow through the walls, you know, and stuff like that. And I think everybody has
Yeah.
that kind of experience with music early on because they sing, you know, you sing to children.
Yeah.
You got that thing on the wall. You are my sunshine. My
Yeah.
only sunshine.
Yep.
You know,
Absolutely.
it was always about singing and stuff like that for kids.
All right. Well, let's have a song.
You got it.
That's the whole purpose. I know.
Oh, all right. Well,
Give us some background.
this is a song about minor characters in my life. I worked for 20 years as a high school English teacher, and I used to love to do characterization and talk about characters and stuff like that. And these characters are like the minor ones, you know, the people that you see them. You see them maybe once a week. The guy at the gas station, or
Yep.
you know, that lady who bags your groceries and stuff. And about just how important they are in the story of your life. So this is a song called "Flows Like a River." The man in the group home down the street from me waves every time I drive by, and I roll down the window to raise up my hands, and we flash each other the peace sign. And it flows like a river the same way every day, and I look forward to it every time. I hope you have someone like that in your life, who waves to you and makes you feel fine. And the old woman who works in the grocery store, I can tell has the hots for me, 'cause she blinks her fake eyelashes slowly and clicks her gum in a seductive way. And it flows like a river the same way every day, and I look forward to it every time. I hope you have someone like that in your life, who winks at you and makes you feel fine. 'Cause it's a long way down the river, and it's a long way home. And I hope you have someone special in your life, who smiles with you and helps you have fun. And the old man in the tall house next door to me, he walks his old dog every day, and I watch as he walks by my window. And one day I'm gonna say hey, and it flows like a river the same way every day, and I look forward to it every time. I hope you have someone like that in your life to say hey to and make feel fine. 'Cause it's a long way down the river, and it's a long way home. And I hope you have someone special in your life, who smiles with you and helps you have fun. Yes, I hope you have someone special in your life, who smiles with you and helps you have fun.
All right.
Thanks.
And there you go, people. 3 chords strumming.
And the
That's all,
truth.
and the truth. That's all you need.
That's it.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Yep. That's all
And
you need.
an internet radio station to
Yeah.
put you on the 321westerly.com, and you know, then fame and fortune will be yours, guaranteed.
I would say more like baby.
Well, maybe just a turkey club. I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened?
But you talk about minor people, which I coincidentally saw something in Facebook. So one thing I talked about is that on other shows is that we have these different categories. We have the musicians, right?
Mm.
We have the venues,
Sure.
but we also we have the fans. But we also have something, and I couldn't come up with a name, but Michael Burke, if you're out there, you got the name. Music ambassadors.
Ah.
Like Sue, the people that, when you're playing, they follow you and they put stuff out on social media. It's like, Frank's playing at Perks and
Right.
Doug's playing at the United or this is really good.
Enthusiasts.
And they're very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we love them. Especially you, Susan, if you're out there.
See, thank you, Susan.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing, it's a whole community.
Yeah, it is. And the other thing I've said, I know, I'm assuming that we're going to get new people, so I'm going to repeat things over again. But all you have to be is mediocre, and you can get into this community. We'll take you in, And you talk about mediocre. Here is Mr. Mediocre right here.
People always say that about like open mics and stuff like that.
Yep.
And they always say like, oh, well, it's sketchy. You might get one or two good people, but mostly it's just people that are sort of on the beginning.
Yeah.
But I feel like I can hear a good song even through a mediocre performance.
Yep.
And sometimes the song is just good. Sometimes there's just like one line in there.
Yeah.
Is a throat punch and knocks you on your rear end, and you think, wow, that's a great line, man. When that 17-year-old kid is 25.
Oh yeah.
Imagine the songs that they're going to be writing then.
And we all were there, So
Yeah.
and we were all there in open mics and scared to death
yeah.
and playing awful, but support the guy that coming up.
It's important stuff.
People supported you.
That's right.
People supported you. Now you can support. And like you said, there's always some good stuff there.
There's always something that you can learn from, and for me, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Whether you're looking at, like, if you're a performer and you're looking at it, you can learn things about your performance, the good stuff and the bad stuff, like what to do, but also what not to do.
Yep,
But if
absolutely.
you're just a listener, like I love going to open mics just to hear what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Like, what's that guy writing songs about?
And
Or
we
like,
meet people.
And we meet people and hang around. Yeah.
And again, it's sort of like I was very lucky. It's like I've got to play with just by meeting people, if you go around, if you're kind of into the scene, using the jargon, it's like, but I met Brad Bensko when you familiar with Brad Bensko?
Yes, I am.
I met Brad Bensko when he was moving up, so to speak, and now he's mid-tier at least.
Oh yeah.
At least. And you know what? I could call him up tomorrow and say, "Hey, will you play with me at Perks?" And he would.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely would. It's like he's just a nice guy.
Yeah.
And Craig Edwards, I played with for decades.
Nice.
But that's how. And you know what? You go to the open mics, you meet people, you get up to mediocre status, and you're off and running. You'll have a ball.
All you got to do is show up, and you're in the club. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
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 And I like that about music scenes, about like being all inclusive.
Yeah.
And kind of just a welcoming community. I've found very little competition in music. It's not about who's better than who. It's about who's got something to say.
Yeah.
Like who's fun and interesting to look at,
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. And I think that you find that in all different kinds of ways.
Yeah. And I found I'm sure you've had it, all of a sudden some bar double books you, and all it's coming to me a couple of cycles like, oh, you're here. It's like, all right, go. Okay. No. You stay. We'll play together. We'll split it. It's like, you don't have to do that. It's like, you don't have to do that. You could say, he called me first, or, I'm better than you, so I'm going to go.
Or get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
This is my
my thing. Yeah. But no, it's great stuff. So I ask you, so how long you know Mark?
I don't
Too
know.
long.
I don't know. Maybe 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, give or take. I think I met him through Professor Richard Neal.
Yeah.
A bazillion years ago.
Yeah.
But I've always loved his songs, man. He's a real strong presence for me. I like He's like Mark is like a man. He's a man. He's a manly man. He's not like a wimpy type of songwriter, and I always appreciated that about him.
Yeah.
Like he stands tall and he throws it down like he means it.
Yeah.
And you can tell that he believes what he's singing about. He's like the poet laureate of Westerly, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
His pictures on the wall over there at the United Theater.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, he's underappreciated. But by some, but
Just
some of us,
he's familiar here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
But some of us, like by some, it's like there's a big group of people that know how good he is. Also, it's like,
it's almost undeniable. You know how good he is, and the Carlines too.
The Carlines too. Yeah.
I'm a huge Jim Carpenter fan. I just think that guy's amazing.
He is. Yep.
And
he's a very technical guitar player. He can do stuff.
He's great. He's great, and he probably plays a few different instruments and writes most of the songs.
Yep.
And produces most of them.
Yep.
I mean, that guy's and is a novelist.
Yeah.
He's a polymath.
Yeah. No, he's good. Like I said, he's playing this week. It's well worth seeing. Worth seeing.
But around
for
here,
free,
of course. And he's playing joints like the Steak Loft, around here. But he goes on tour too, and I bet you that when he's out there, like, holy cow, who's this cat?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And here we're just like, oh, that's Jim.
Yeah, it's Jim. But the great thing is, everybody is like, it's Jim. But if I see Jim in the bar, he knows me. I can go up and talk to him for like 10 minutes. Yeah, he knows. I know him. He knows me. And we talk. So that's one of the perks of being mediocre.
Maybe, or just one of the perks of living in an area where there's so many great artists. Like New England, I think is kind of. We're packed, from New York to Boston to Portland, Maine, up to Burlington, Vermont. We got all the corners. New England's pretty great.
Yep. So if you've known Mark this long, you've kind of watched his career just steadily rise. So when you first knew him, he must have been not where he is today, obviously.
No, but he was still well on his way.
Yeah. Even back then. Okay. Yeah.
Even back then. Oh yeah, he's been top tier in my world for a long time, and even his brother is great too. And I know Mark plays with Chris sometimes as well.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So they're on tour too. He goes down and plays the Saxon Pub and
opens for the Doobie Brothers.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like just open for Doobie Brothers. Yeah,
that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah, like Brad Benko was talking about him. He was opening for Gordon Lightfoot.
Yep.
It's just saying.
Yeah, those are classics.
Yeah. So who else is from Wesley who's now not in town anymore? Is you familiar with Thor Jensen?
I know the name, but I never met him either.
Yeah. But I mean, I took guitar lessons from him like 20 years ago, and he was just playing
Thor
little
Jensen
bars.
Is a famous person's name too.
Yeah.
That's a great moniker.
Yeah.
Imagine everybody calling you Thor. Holy cow.
I was so back in one of my other shows, all of a sudden we actually had him on, and I was talking. And all of a sudden Ben was going, Doug, what? You keep making references to Thor Jensen like Thor is like a nickname. That's his real name. It was like, are you sure? It's like that's his real name, Thor.
His parents knew.
Yeah. And he looks like a Thor.
Yeah. That was a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right?
Yeah.
Like this man is a god.
So who his current girlfriend is?
Who?
Ashley Campbell, Glenn Campbell's daughter.
Oh, no kidding.
Imagine.
Wow.
See, now, mediocre gets a thing. If you're really, really good,
you get Glenn Campbell's daughter.
You get Glenn Campbell's daughter.
Yeah,
just say.
Good deal.
That's a good. Just saying.
Yeah. Whose daughter can I have?
Well, look at. There's another example of that. Lyle Lovett, right?
Yeah.
Not the greatest looking guy, right?
No, but
no. Jodie Foster.
He's with Jodie Foster.
Didn't last long, but at least
wasn't he also with that other lady, the Mystic Pizza lady?
Wasn't that Jodie Foster?
Juliet.
Oh, maybe you're right. I'm wrong.
What's her name? I forget her name. I like Jodie Foster better.
Yeah, but either one. Well,
that other one's too tall. She's too tall for me. Jodie Foster, I think, is in my wheelhouse.
All right. Cool beans. All right. Another song, please.
All right. You got it. Let's see. All right. Well, this song, that song happened in threes. It was about three characters that I know. Song happens in threes too. This is called Frank Critelli's Dream, number 1, 2.
Oh,
And this is a song that really isn't about dreams at all. It's more about surreal moments. They were all sort of dreamlike, but they happened in real time. Like you were saying before, like, you're walking into a bar and then all of a sudden you have this wave of gratitude come over you for, wow, like I get to live this. This is my life.
yeah.
I get to go and do these things and hear this music and stuff. This is about 3 experiences that I had where all of a sudden you feel like kind of one with the universe.
So on a CD, which I was going to mention later, about a few songs I listened, this was my favorite song.
Oh, thank you. Very cool. All right. I dreamt I saw St. Joseph. He was loading up a van with blisters on his hands, an ever strong and ever gentle family man. And then I saw the Virgin Mary. She was driving in a car, returning from the grocery store, so beautiful, maternal, and adorable. And I dreamt I was there when their eyes met. It was love at second guess. And I could see that they could see they were blessed. And I dreamt I was friends with Da Vinci. We sat in my backyard, he beat me every time at cards. We talked of love and death and God and stars. And then along came Albert Einstein, and we got drunk on Chardonnay. They talked all night and the next day, and I listened, but I didn't dare to say. And I dreamt I was there when their minds met, and sparked with a shared understanding that birth and death are accidents, life is random. And I dreamt I was singing a tune under a strawberry moon, but the words came out all wrong, and no one liked the song that I had written and I'd practiced for so long. Then we all drove home, each of us alone, and we thought about our words and what we saw and what we heard, and we realized a miracle occurred. That we were there together, all in the same room, for better or worse, that connects us in the universe. Hi. How are you? Good.
She's probably the next show, I suspect.
Oh, cool. What's your show? What's the next show?
I'm just an intern.
Oh. Welcome.
All right. So listen to Mr. Frank's CD. So first comment. The first song
Yeah. Tonight.
Is that you?
That's me.
That was not what I was expecting.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. It wasn't the thing. It was like it's it's very electric. It was like it's about as far away from this as you could possibly
Just
get.
about, yeah. Well, sometimes we go into studios.
Yep.
And we get to play with people who are better than we are.
Yep.
So the first song on that CD and the last song too, were done at the same studio, and that was with Eric Lichter at Dirt Floor. So it's happened twice where I've had a song that needed something.
Yep.
It wasn't. I didn't think it was awkward. Charming, but awkward. And so when I went to Eric Lichter, I said, could you help me with this? Like, what does this song need? It just feels clunky to me to play. I like it, and I feel like it deserves a nice treatment, but I'm not the guy to do it, and he was the guy to do it. So I thought both of those tracks, the first one and the last one, came out great.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I liked it. It was just like I was like, all right, I'm gonna put it like, whoa.
Yeah.
Is
And
that-
then some of the other stuff is almost like acoustic demos.
Yep.
You know?
No.
And that's the whole gamut. You know?
Yeah. And that song you just did is on here, and with banjo in it, right?
Yeah.
And there was a couple other songs with banjo in it. I was like, which I was like, oh, there's
I
banjo.
recorded those 4 songs. The particular CD is a collection of just digital releases. Remember how like all of a sudden CDs kind of went away?
Yeah.
It seems like, and then everybody was doing everything digitally, especially during the pandemic, where everybody was recording at home and doing a lot of stuff and just releasing it straight to Bandcamp or something like that.
Yep.
So I needed I was traveling and I needed something like for merch.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
people keep
And people
gassing
should
the
buy
tank, you know?
people should buy this stuff. You know, it's like
I think so too.
yeah,
I still like,
of course you think so.
I still like hard copies of things.
I-
You know?
Here's my philosophy on music. If I say something, especially, but let's just say Lyle Lovett's got something new out, right?
Mm.
And I go, it's like, I gotta get his number. If the CD's 15 and the stream is 10, I'm gonna get the CD.
Yeah.
If the CD's 15 and and the digital's 5, I'll probably get the digital.
Right.
If it's close.
But if you only like the one song and you can pay 99 cents for
Oh,
it, or
but, you know, I-
$1.25 or something.
My philosophy on that is, if I like one, even if I've only heard one song, I like it. If I've heard one song, I like it, I'm probably going to like more.
That's true, but we're album guys. You know, we grew up in an album era
True.
when, like, before us in the 50s, like everything was singles, and it's kind of gotten back to that. Like people put out singles.
Yep.
Maybe because our attention span isn't what it used to be. You know?
Yeah. And the album guys. So, and again, old school. We're old. Yeah. And it's like, it's like clouds, stupid clouds.
Right.
Yell at them. So we would have record players, and when you put an album on, it was, first of all, took you about 2 minutes just to put an album on. You know, you had to get it out of the sleeve, you had to put it in the thing.
Dust it off,
And so once you got it on, you didn't want to do that every song, so you put an album on, and albums were often stories in themselves.
True.
You know that the people that were making the albums put a lot of thought in. I'm going to do this song, this song, this song, this song, and then end the side with this song.
Right.
And
Right.
and
It's a work of art. The album is an art form all by itself.
Yep.
Yeah. And each song is an art form, and the record jacket with art on.
big, big, and they had room to really do some good art because they had
And you
like
got a
12 by 12.
poster with it and a sticker sometimes. You know, and albums were cool, man. They opened up.
Yep.
And you could roll a joint on them and stuff.
Not that we ever would do such a
No,
thing.
never. But I heard of people doing that.
Yeah, rumor has it. And the other thing about albums, though, I haven't figured out the exact math, but they were expensive compared to how much you were making. You know, they were not cheap. I think.
Well, I think both were true. You know, I mean, because I remember buying singles in the Times Square store for 99 cents.
Yeah.
Or 50 cents. You know, something like that. They were all very, very cheap.
But hold on, 99 cents.
Yeah.
Were you working at the time?
Oh, raking leaves and
So it's how but a typical person working, like the old lady at the grocery store.
right.
How much was she making?
Not that $4 an hour, right? Yeah.
So
Exactly.
$4 an hour. So it would take her 15 minutes to be
Yeah.
able to buy a 45.
45, right?
So if you were making $15 an hour, you know, it's like it's
Different story.
different story. So
But the single is still 99 cents online. Isn't that funny?
yeah,
Everything
I don't
else
know.
went up.
yeah, everything else. Yep. One thing that didn't go up was musicians' pay at bars.
Let me tell you, you know, like for an opening act gig, I'm still making the same $50 I was making in 1989.
I know it's
You know?
it's just terrible.
It's the worst ever.
Yeah. So all the more reason to buy merch and help it. So can people get this album?
Oh yeah.
Where?
Well, it travels with me, so the
Yeah.
hard copies are just with me.
Yeah.
They're in maybe 1 or 2 stores, but you know, nothing big. But all that stuff is available online, you know?
Yeah.
Like everybody has a Bandcamp page, and you can go to my Bandcamp page
Yep.
and download anything I've ever done for free. You can have it, or you can name your price.
All right.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of the best way to go.
All right.
So, it's just like at Bandcamp.
Yeah.
A vast majority of the funds goes to the artist.
Yeah.
So if you buy a single on Bandcamp for $1, I'll probably get like 86 cents out of that dollar.
Yeah.
But if you buy it off of Spotify, out of that 99 cents, I get 0.000001 cent.
Yeah.
You know, for a play there.
Yeah.
So Bandcamp, if you want to support an artist, Bandcamp is really the way to go.
Good.
And most people on my level have that
All right. I didn't quite. I wasn't totally familiar.
Yeah. And it's a real easy site to use. You know, this is all of my technology.
Yeah.
Right here. I don't have a computer or a TV. I have this, so I can listen to.
You don't have a TV?
Nope.
That's un-American.
I know. Just about.
I don't watch any TV at all. I watch Netflix movies. Yeah. But I don't watch any TV at all.
But I liked every now and then there's a series will come out that I'm really interested in, and I did get to see Ted Lasso. Yeah. And that was fantastic. And I just felt like every time I watched one of those shows, I was not only entertained but enlightened. You know what I mean? And I used to love, like, back in the day when things were different, I had HBO and I could watch The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And that was a cool show. And another one called 6 Feet Under. Holy cow. What a show that was, you know? Or MASH, or, you know, like sometimes TV is really great, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah. No. And you know what? It's like, find somebody that knows the stuff and they can give you good recommendations rather than you have to plow through stuff.
True. That's the truth. Yeah, no doubt.
I think we have. All right. We're getting close, but we need at least one more song.
All right. Good deal. Well, I'll play that one that you said surprised you. This on the record, this is a bigger tune, and it's got drums and like a Hammond B3 organ on it and all kinds of stuff.
Electric guitars.
And this has more chords than the last one too. Although I'm pretty sure they're still the same ones. There's just more of them. And this is a song about enlightenment and how kind of like, you know, you get to a certain age and you're like, you know, I should have had this all figured out by now. Like, why is life still a struggle? Why am I still such a big dummy? You know? So
the more you know that you don't know.
Ignorance might be bliss, you know? I'm not sure. But also, knowing stuff is kind of fun too, you know? And this is a song just about, I guess, wanting it all to happen faster. And it's called Tonight. Consider this an anecdote, but in another life I was crucified next to the one who knocked on heaven's door and got in. In another life I was outcast and deranged, from the depths of the ocean to the edge of space. Once I was an alien, once I was an ape, and now I'm just walking the road, carrying an evolutionary load. This is a serious question. Do I lack empathy and compassion? Am I the man that I've tried so hard not to be? How do I negotiate and reconcile the hurt I've caused with the good that I've done? The times it was on purpose and the times just for fun, and the times I just did what I'm told, carrying an evolutionary load. Since we crawled out from the ocean, we've been trying to get it right. And I wake up every morning thinking it might be tonight. Hoping it might be tonight. Maybe tonight. Tonight. During this time of reflection, don't let overthinking stall decisive action. Life is short and it's quickly passing you by. Look inside and keep both eyes open wide. Or find a soul and buy it at a tag sale secondhand. Shine it up and sell it for as much as you can. Either way, you're gonna get old. Get used to this evolutionary load. And since we crawled out from the ocean, we've been trying to get it right. And I wake up every morning thinking it might be tonight, believing it might be tonight. Let it be tonight, 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 tonight. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Alrighty then.
Man, thanks for having me.
Hey, yeah.
Who's
So
there?
we're not quite done,
Oh,
but
okay, I'm not-
there's one more very important thing. So,
Oh, man.
so since you're not familiar with being Doug certified,
Oh,
back when I was doing gigs, like, so you would know, it was like you're doing a gig, right?
Mm.
And all of a sudden you go, oh, look it, I'm doing a gig. There's Frank over there.
right.
You know,
I'm
it's like
taking your picture with that shirt on too, just like that. Bang. Thanks, bud.
there's Frank over there. It's like, it would be great if he could come up and play a couple songs with us. But everybody else in the band doesn't know you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we came up and it was like, but I could just say, see that guy there, Frank? Yeah, I want him to come up here. He's Doug certified.
Yeah.
And which automatically meant that,
If he passes your inspection, then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
probably all
we're
right.
good. We're good. He knows the protocols. He knows that, he knows that,
He's in the
that,
club. La Cosa Nostra, baby.
yeah, La Costa Nostra. So you are Doug certified. Here's your sticker.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, man.
Put it on your guitar. Put it on your,
Heck yeah.
put it on your refrigerator. Put it in your waste
Heck
paper
yeah.
basket. Put it in
That
the waste.
guitar case.
Yeah. Put it in your waste paper basket.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
321westerly.com.
All right. I think we're good. So I'll say goodbye to everybody. Thanks everybody for dropping by. And this will be on YouTube, etc. And next week we're gonna have Susan continue our series on the Perks and Corks history. And so we planned, it's probably gonna be a 3-part series. We got 1 part done. So part 2 next week. As I said, there's some good stuff going this week. Bye-bye.
Hot summers and cold winters can be unbearable, but D&V Mechanical has the solution for you. As a Mitsubishi Diamond dealer, we provide energy-efficient and personalized comfort solutions for your home. Our experienced technicians will install your new system quickly and efficiently, ensuring your complete satisfaction. Don't suffer through another season of discomfort. Contact D&V Mechanical today for a personalized ductless mini-split installation that fits your lifestyle. D&V Mechanical, your comfort is our top priority.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
The Thirsty Beaver Hometown Pub and Grub in Dunn's Corners is your ultimate destination for refreshing drinks, delectable dishes, and memorable moments with family and friends. Enjoy live music, DJ trivia every Wednesday night, and we're now the official spot to come watch and root for your favorite Westerly High School sports teams. The Thirsty Beaver, located at 265 Post Road, Spindrift Village, Westerly.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.